Hey friends, it's Lisa. Welcome and thank you for watching another one of my videos. So today is Sunday, February 14th, 2021. I'm doing my week 6 wrap up. I'm actually pretty excited with myself that I have kept up with this for 6 weeks because I have an awful habit of not staying committed to things that I want to commit to. I feel like that sounded way more dramatic. I just meant, you know, if I wanted to try a new hobby, I lose interest after a while, or if I say I'm gonna do something, then I don't for the long term. So yeah, I feel like that felt very more dramatic than I meant it to be. Anyway, here in the United States and possibly other places in the world, I'm not sure, but it is Valentine's Day, and so I hope if you celebrate it, because some people don't, but if you do, I hope you have a good one. I like when it falls on the weekend because I feel like it's just, you could do more things, you know, than potentially a weekday. But where I live, we are currently having some snow and ice, and so going outside really isn't an option that I prefer. And also I'm still having back issues, and this ice has been insane. For example, this morning I thought, okay, my dog needs to go out. I am the early bird in the relationship, and so I was going to, as safely as I could, take my dog Milo out. And so I opened the door and I just saw everything coated in ice. But dogs gotta pee, you know. it's life, you know, and we don't do the inside pads or anything like that. So my dog took one step outside and he just slid, and we have a couple steps, and luckily I had his harness on him, and he just kept sliding and started to fall over the step, and I'm pulling his leash and his harness to get him inside. And so we had to wait for a little bit until the conditions became safer, and luckily Milo was pretty awesome about it and we did not have any indoor accidents today. So as I said, I am still having some back issues. If you watch these videos and you watched my last week's video, I mentioned that I hurt my back and I went to urgent care. So over the past week I have spoken with my primary care doctor, and we are going to be taking the next steps, which would be a spinal MRI, which, you know, okay, great. But here is my first low point of the week. So I have to get pre-approval from my insurance company, which is, I guess, is standard procedure, which is awesome. But my doctor's office had tried to reach my insurance company, and I wanted to stop and say I am very thankful that I have health insurance, because I know that there are many Americans who do not have health insurance. And I have previously been in a position where I didn't have health insurance, and then I also was in a position where I had Obamacare, or the healthcare through the Affordable Health Care Act. And while I was thankful that I had that, because I actually got sick when I had it, and so coverage, I was very thankful for it, it was very expensive and things were limited. Milo is here as always. But anyway, my insurance wasn't picking up the phone. My doctor said, well, his assistant was like, it's on infinite holds. Like, we keep trying and they keep like just putting us in holds and holds and holds, and we can't move forward until we talk to your insurance company. And so I was able to get a hold of my somebody at my insurance company, because you know, I'm a member versus a provider. And when I asked, the response was, well, we have a lot of providers that call us. And that was the response to, when my provider calls, why are they put in infinite hold with no indication of when they will be picked up? Just because there's a lot of providers that are calling them. So I felt that was kind of crappy to get that kind of First of all, you know, for health insurance, who expectedly you would think providers would be calling in, but to just kind of leave providers whose time is very valuable, to leave them on hold, you know, when they're trying to help their patients get approved for different things, you know, and I'm sure there are some other things out there that need approval that are way more urgent and important than a spinal MRI. The other low point that has to go, not that I'm like, let me tell you all my medical business, but just like, just sucks because my insurance, there's only so many places because it's something to do with the spine. It falls into a different category. And so it's like stinks because there's only a few locations in my geographical area that apparently are allowed to be where I get the MRI, even though there's like imaging places all around here. And I live very close to Philadelphia, you know, and we have tons of hospitals, some of them considered world class. It just sucks because I live in New Jersey and the closest location in New Jersey is over an hour away. So I said, okay. I didn't even know the town when they told me over the phone. I had used Google Maps. I was like, oh, that's far. What about Pennsylvania? I have mysterious hair and I don't feel like pausing. I guess I will pause. Okay, I can't like get the hair, invisible hair. So I'm just gonna have to live with that feeling of like webs. But anyway, just kind of going back. So I live in the metropolitan area of Philadelphia. We have world-class hospitals and universities, and you know, there's only 4 locations that my insurance will accept in Pennsylvania, and none of them are in Philadelphia. And so the closest one is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or Scranton, Pennsylvania, which Lancaster's not awful far, but it's an hour and a half away at least, and I have to, you know, cross the river and everything like that. So I was just kind of like bummed out because one, I can't even move forward in finding out what's causing my pain until I get this spinal MRI. I can't even make an appointment at the facility that my insurance is telling me that I can go to until it is approved. And the reason why they haven't approved it yet is because they like are making it hard for providers to submit the documentation and request to get the pre-approval. So I know people deal with way bigger health insurance nightmares, but this is just my current one, and so I'm sharing it because this is what happened in my week 6. So I think another low point is that I might have taught Milo a awful habit because it's been super snowy and I have not always been able to walk him. We have a pile of snow right there outside of our sliding glass door, and I'm like, okay, you can go there, like you can pee when it's an emergency. But, you know, I don't want him to think now that that is like his place to go, because we are very consistent. Typically, we walk him. But just this past week and a half, this past week and a half has just been like not always conducive for me to safely walk him outside. Okay. Now that all that like boring, like sad sack stuff is over, I just want to talk about like what was cool and happy this week. So my highlight definitely of my week was, okay, so like, not to say like Valentine's Day with my partner isn't a highlight, because it is, whatever. We got each other gifts, which I'll talk about in a second. But the real highlight was that I got to see my girls yesterday for Valentine's Day. So if you don't know what Valentine's Day is, it is a day before Valentine's Day on February 13th, and it is a day for, well, okay, this is what I think the intention of Valentine's Day was. It was made up on the show Parks and Recreation, one of the best comedies from basic cable. But anyway, it was made up by Leslie Knope so she could celebrate the wonderful women in her life, and just celebrate how amazing female friendship and empower everybody up. And so it has kind of taken on its life of its own. People, yes, people celebrate it. Oh, that hurts. People celebrate it. But anyway, we got together, 6 of us, very safely at a restaurant, and it was just a really nice time to see each other in person, because that is a rare thing still, and just kind of talk and be in each other's presence and drink delicious cocktails safely and eat delicious food safely. And yeah, it was just amazing, and it was great to see my closest female friends in person. The other thing that it kind of like uplifted my spirits this week was the Zoom cat incident that has now gone viral. So when I initially saw that Zoom cat video, it was Tuesday night, and I probably watched that on replay from 20 to 30 times, and I cried so hard laughing because it just happened to strike like the funny bone nerve in me, and I just thought it was one of the funniest things that I've seen recently. You know, when he's like, "I'm here, Judge, I'm not a cat," and it was just, I just think it is amazing. Now, since then, I have heard that the internet has done that thing where they start digging into the past of everybody, of everything that is ever good and gold and pure. And apparently that particular lawyer has like a scummy past where anyway, you can Google it, but it's like, why can we just for 1 second have pure just joy with a cat filter or a dog filter? Because he just kind of like shows up. Yes! He is my Valentine every day, all day for the last 11.5 years. And so Valentine's Day, my partner got me 2 mugs. If you follow me on Instagram, which I actually keep private unless like I know you or we kind of have like the same interest, and then I see that you're not a serial killer on the surface, and then I will accept. So, but anyway, the first one, I guess I should back up. I have a problem with coffee mugs, and I think that's a common problem, but I do have a coffee mug problem, and it probably needs to be addressed. And I feel like each mug is important, and I can't give it away declutter wise, so I'm gonna have to address that at some point. But anyway, my partner decided to take that mug love that I have and match it with another love that I have, alpacas. And so I am being serious when I say this. My dream, if I had money to spare, time to spare, land, if I owned land, had a place, I would just have some alpacas. Maybe an alpaca farm, but like at least like 1 or 2 or 3. And we would just hang out, and I would just be so happy. So anyway, Milo's a little jealous because he thinks that like my love for alpacas will like fight for his love, and like he's the ultimate alpaca, so it won't happen. Okay, so here's the first mug that he got me. It is this mug with the handle that is the alpaca, and I love it. It is amazing. It is not dishwasher friendly, and it is not microwave friendly, which kind of like makes me a little bit sad because I like to put things in the dishwasher and I also like to microwave things. But I do really enjoy and love this mug. It hasn't been washed out yet, so there's some styrofoam particles in it, but like cute, right? So that was the first mug he got me, and that was already here. And then all of a sudden, like in like the middle of the day, he gets an alert, like Amazon has shown up, and he goes, okay. So here's the second mug that he got me. And it's, if you do not like the F word, if it offends you, close your eyes for like 30 seconds, like 5 seconds, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, he got me this mug, which I'm not sure if it's microwavable. I'm not sure if it's dishwasher safe, but it says, a wise woman once said, fuck it, I'm getting an alpaca, and she lived happily ever after. That is like my spirit right now. Well, you know, I wouldn't, but like, I would totally just be happy living a life, at least in my mind, where I had an alpaca. And so, so that was what I received from him. Not that like you have to get people gifts for Valentine's Day, whatever, but it was just like cute little things. And then I ended up gifting him hot sauce from his favorite YouTube channel, Hot Ones. And they have their official line of hot sauces. And so he's really into hot sauce, and he's been talking, like he loves that show, and so I was really excited. And then the card I got him from the store was like hot, like chili pepper, and so it was all themed, and I'm really proud of myself. And so just like seeing him open it and being very happy was like all I needed. And so that's it. So it's what day is it? It's Sunday. I do these on Sundays. Why don't I know what day it is? It's Sunday, and the weather has warmed up a little bit, so the ice has been melting. Milo is chillaxing right next to me, as he always does on Sundays. And we might get some Mexican food for dinner. Take out, probably from a restaurant that I found on Yelp. If you don't know, I love Yelp. We don't, like, the one restaurant that's here sucks, and so up to like my Americanized Mexican standards that I have, that, you know, like I recognize that I probably don't know like legitimate Mexican, but I know, I mean, I didn't get this way not knowing what Americanized Mexican food tastes like. So we might get some delicious food. I think that's the plan. Take out and come back. But really, that is it for this week. I mean, it's not really. We had that whole thing with like the Congress and the impeachment trial, but you know what? What can we say? It's important to vote, and just remember, come your election times, how your politicians decided when it came to things that matter. So that's really all I have to say. All right, guys, so this is a little bit longer than I think the other ones have been, but from my co-host Milo, who is often heard but never seen, rarely seen, more often heard, and myself, if you liked this video or found any of the information helpful, please think about giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. And until next time, guys, I hope you all stay well. Bye.